Ngi pediang sobhai phi sha kani ka program Health Essentials. Kani ka program ka juan la sha phi ya ki jingya kren bat ki jing tip sha phi halor ki phang ba pher ki be dei bat ka kot ka kya.
Hello there, dear viewers, and we welcome you once again. This is another episode of Health Essentials from DD Meghalaya. I am Andreas, and I have with me two guests here, and we are going to be talking today about drug abuse, substance abuse, and also as a mark of to observe the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking, which is on the 26th of June. And this year's theme, as has been set, is addressing drug challenges in health and humanitarian crisis. Larang ipin kala sa kakasi kala kam wan kandiat tang ba kalong kumni. Kajing no drugs but JINGIALEH ha kajing BRIEW. Te banyak keren banyak puson halor kani ka mat ka ba don hakmat jungi kani ka por. I would like to welcome ikong kesan rimai si Imli. Ma'am, welcome to the show. And Imam ide project coordinator jong New Hope, and we also have with us on our panel Iba Jonas. Iba Jo menta ide peer educator. Iba Juru idon batka New Hope. Okay, so without wasting any time, since this is a very serious issue that we have on the table that needs to be addressed immediately, I will immediately start off with Kong San. Ma'am, pila don katno menta hakanika department lani haka batka New Hope ma pila don katno snem ma'am.
Benta tinggal adon kumba newsnem benta kan ngal adon te ningkong join kum I counselor te license benta pada ngala long kum I project coordinator jong New Hope the addiction center.
Okay, so your total service benta of 7 years.
7 years.
Okay, ma'am, te as a project coordinator, what are your basic responsibilities, ma'am?
Ki responsibility hi kidai kum tu hi bangan ha ban manage for the center as a whole long your ka wehing ha pet ha ban kum tu mo networking with other NGOs and with the communities ka ba ha po apade na benta gini ki patient ki ba gini ki basa hang tu mo ki ba wan na ki ba di ba penon kami gini jindi na ki ba along addict gini jindi kum drugs bat ka kiat ru tingi eye treatment lang.
Okay, so for both alcoholics and drug addicts.
Drug addicts.
Ma'am, just a little history of New Hope. How long has New Hope been there?
Benta New Hope la don kumba arpu news nem EA.
27 years of service. Okay, I'll shift the talk a little bit to Bajo. Bajo pada Bajo pipoi long peer educator fiang deh. Te kumno pilit poi hakata ka kam Bajo.
Actually nga pay hang tay hapo New Hope Center. First of all kadeba I went there for treatment because of my addiction. Te ngalat hang te ka course ka lang to stay for 3 months. After completing your 3 course you can leave. Okay. But then I extended for two more months. Okay. Te hadin ko tu pat ngayo ko offer na project ko dito kiba banung kong ibadon hang tiamen shwa kong lalu. Okay. Te yang balai film long volunteer no hang ni support mo so that can come scam your fee. Te ngaru I agree to her. Te ngong okay. Te suki nga volunteer hang tu te as time when te kilas tang ika performance ko jonga ka biang but I'm not doing anything wrong in there. Te istang yo sure taka trust, istang gain ka taka trust, start believing in me. Istang offer yang taka job mga nong peer educator. Okay. Te ngabun ki kay bangali aktu po lang nga saro hang tehi. Okay. Hak support mga dongdan kan nga por kom volunteer kom peer educator for support haki ado arajar katsan ngami nang te. Okay. Kalong kom residential staff at the same time.
Okay. Amte Kajing poi jong pi hang te kata kamut you were a full blown addict.
Yeah.
That is what led you to reach out to New Hope for the treatment. Let's just go back into history a little bit. Please, when did you get hooked or how did you start?
I can't actually remember the year that I started, at what age, but I was very much in class 7, I guess. Class 7. Te ngasdang ban, kidan ki parlok banga si sultanat bangan dan lang bat ki, but te kidan ko puat banga ba I'm not wanted by them because I am not doing drugs, I'm not smoking weed, kung gini kita kan. Te I wanted to be like in the group, in that circle. Te kapalong nga ba sometimes okay, let me just try. And since I have no idea what drug is all about or weed is all about, so I said just give it a try and see. Out of curiosity, you can say, or
you
wanted to experience. Yeah.
Also, I think a bit of peer pressure because you wanted to fall into this group of.
Yeah, that is also one
what
factor.
What was it that you saw in these guys in these people that made you?
At that time, let's say like I was just a kid, so looks very manly, looks like kind of very tough. You're not scared of anything. So this is what a man should do in life. Should try things out. Kapalong yung feet man shinrang. Just like when first time when somebody offers you a cigarettes and you say no, they can tell you di mo. Long kum shinrang no. These are the factors. Kapalong yung ngaro give it a try.
And haka era jong pile, this would be what in the late 80s. In the late 80s probably, if you say class 7, that would be around about that era where banlong macho ko aban follow ki men ko aban follow ki kirang ba body secret ko aban lang. So I can understand that trend. I think ngar mo din katuhi ka generation we understand ni katu kaya no. Anyways, so just shifting it a little bit again to ma'am, mentah at this current day and age pada mentah hapo New Hope mo, what is the trend or what is that age factor ma'am where kini ki kena ki one point
ya ba mentah hiti ki kena ki bun ha gitu ki age ki belong 20, 21, kumtai 18, nadu 18. Hina mabangi hang te ngishim ki 18 above. Te babon hi menta ki kita ki age, ki average age kan bagi kena ki.
18 kita when they come to you, when they come to New Hope, they've come for help.
Yes.
So which means they have started before.
Te ki nagabalkin stang li kamut ki dihe ki age nadu 16, nadu 15. Ki class 9, class 10. Banong ka ba mentally la nang kham you kan ki teenage hi kila start using drugs kan.
So if Bajo is from the 80s and he started when he was in class 7, so right now like with the kind of availability of these substances that's there in the market, I think kids. Is there a trend where it's growing, the addiction rate is growing, ma'am?
Ki babon hi ki ba kumtumo ki kena da wan te ki bangi ki di kalong hi ka peer pressure hi ka ba bunte but ka curiosity experimentation ki kwa ban persang ulong kumno ki kwa ban try ulong kumno te kita hi di ki main ken ki ba pelong hi ki kena.
Okay, and what about the density of addicts ki la khambon mentane ki khambon menchuane
ban compare te ki labon ba menta labon ba tang ha gitu ki years ki bangadang sedang ban join hapo New Hope ru kini 2014 eru kadang duna ba kidang don tang kumba sangut ye da bon ya kan.
This was 2014.
Te ban compare ban menta te ani le bon ba
ka capacity hapo New Hope, how many clients can you have
at present ngi don kumtai ar punyongut ngi don. The availability of beds te gari 30 ke bangi don
so it's almost full
kan ngi shed full hi ka sulong no kum to ki don ki bangi la discharge ki don ki bawan new admission ru ki don te kalong bai kum tai tang mangim tu duna sho menta te ka 25 tingim duna kan.
So that in itself speaks a lot because piong 2014 piong don tang san hundred and menta it's like what 8 years down the line and the beds are almost always full. So the trend is basically it's going from bad to worse. The availability of these substances has become too easy. Ibajo hakapor jong pi bajo when you were introduced to these substances, was money a factor?
At first, like I was like available because I get it from my friends. So I wasn't that much into addiction or something. They just started off at that time. They kampat hadian kah kata.
Okay.
Because if you say, for example, if I go and buy a bottle of codeine, of cough syrup, which the retail price is 20, you have to buy it for 80 rupees or 90 rupees
without a
without
prescription.
prescription.
Okay.
Because you won't get prescription, you cannot go to the doctor and say that I need cough syrup all the time. Te fiaban buy on your own. Te cost kalong kumta. Te menta I don't know how much it costs for one bottle of cough syrup. That too if you go and get it in black, let's say, from any source bala ba pinyo, te ngam tip kat nu ki charge fee.
Hakapor jumpi baju, you and the circle of friends that you had at that point of time, would you say that the trend of substances was lesser then?
Yeah, it was lesser then.
Okay.
Compared to now, tak kalong very much less how to before.
Okay. And then so I'm sure you experimented with a lot, like you said, a cough syrup.
Yeah, cough syrup. Then those sleeping pills like diazepam, alprazolam,
Okay.
kibon ki tablets, which contains gitu ki composition. The high-tipor and heroin also is available, but then not as kumalong menta.
Okay. Right now, because this it's almost like a pandemic, menta. Almost every third or fourth day, if you see the news, you'll see some kid either la overdose ne, don basabat ne, you know, ki peddlers ki basabat du jan man kapor. Of course, the trend is going up. Ya katu kapor ng pi baju. How long did you use before you realized that ba pila kirni, ba pila long hooked?
Ngating I realize bang long hooked into addiction. Hati kijing di ijambam kijanga. Kadai hikipor bang I started to isolate myself na kiparlok. I don't need them anymore because even if I have the stuff, I don't want to share with them because it will not be enough for me.
Okay.
So te mencuate ber kiparlok I get nagi ngadi lang hatu por ngam sngo da lasas tang sutu pat ba don kipor dang akwa kiparlok ki masyo. Because makir kita kam ya ladi te ngarut hati po dang las dang yo ladang ngadan pisa ngatiet ngam share syo bigi parlok ngam don kam parlok syo I start to isolate myself niki parlok ru ngasdang syong bai hayeng all the time always alone. Okay, after I get high listen to music kita ke barakot te ngam dan ngasa sotu mangalong into addiction because ngam yo I would suffer a lot.
When you say suffer, this is a term used by a lot of addicts.
Like these days,
this term now is becoming a common term. So suffer kamut kadike, is it the withdrawals?
Yeah, withdrawals. Those kadike withdrawals.
Pilong kumno comment. What kind of withdrawals?
Nothing. At that time, hatu por tengalong ibangam yo tiya. I don't feel like doing anything. Let's say today I'm high, and when I think about tomorrow, knowing that I don't have cash in my pocket. Okay, I would start wondering, I would start thinking or start worrying about tomorrow what will I do. Kadang lupa. And when tomorrow comes, I don't have cash. That means I don't want to get up from my bed. I don't want to brush my teeth. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to eat. The only thing that go on my mind kadi, from where do I get cash to get my stuff? Tangamyo, I need.
Did this prompt you to get into criminal activities?
Actually, like kampat pa hadu taw stage ba manganle iya shabar, but for my family, I've steal a lot. I sold the TV off. Okay, I did whack some money from my mom's pocket. From my brother, from my uncle. I would cheat to them, would lie to them. Sometimes I said, and I'm not feeling well. I need to go to the doctor to see a doctor because I'm having gastric or something, just to get the money. Banyo banitiet. Kita gay banong hado criminal activity tang padan banong mga late shabar bantu na shabar ito ng padan kanya hado pataka stage.
Because there is this saying more. To be very very honest though, Bajote has been clean now for a long time. But there's this saying we say term mangihi, yung ukna di drugs. It is so derogatory and it is so demeaning. I feel so. The moment you see that, it justifies the general public to either tie him up to a pole, beat him up, or to discriminate him and to get him out of the society. When you hit rock bottom, did these kind of things happen to you?
Yeah, I've been kalong kumta because ki BRIEW, the society would look at me like somebody from the gutter who are good at nothing. They would be scared of to let you in their house. To make to long socialize bakin one friend but fee long friendly but fee, especially those who doesn't do drugs. I'm not talking about kiwi But do drugs, okay, they fine with me, but kita bamle. They would look at you with such eyes, but sometimes papinya na jan jongki feel aran because you know whether they talk behind your back or no, but in your mind it's already that they must be talking about me. Not something good, but something which is which kalong discriminate.
Hakapor jongpi baju, and those days when of course the addiction rate was very less. Kani kajing bom snong, kani kajing be snong. Was it there?
Hak tu porte ngampat hajing my experience hadu kata te ngampat julap kan.
Okay.
Tonga been through kani addiction ka for so many years I think por jonga te panong ban bom snong ban ai ngampat julap. Kombalong mentah tengah ibon kilong kumta. Because ki ong ba dasya tu dasya kumni kumta ki ong ibadi ki drug addict. Ya kata ngar nga sutu ki mostly ki drug addict ki batu mentah. But then they do it because the body are demanding. Kimla ban bear that suffering bagi ong mentah ka suffer. That term bagi use mentah suffer ba dam yo ngan long kumta starting getting withdrawals. Kini kita kimla. Ki hab bantu umbansi ya kata te like they were not born as a thief but they were compelled because of drugs, because of this substance bagi use.
So, ma'am, would it be fair to say that an addict is suffering from some sort of mental illness? Would it be accurate to say that?
Long kumno mo ban addict long from mental illness they kam dadan mo ka sulong kumni dadai ba u long ba umdi u yo active withdrawal symptoms ka sulong gadan lang ti ka kria lang ka anxiety ka dan ka fear ka dan u nang ta de worrying ru dan kumno un yo at that moment kan kinile bigan un ka kam tang bagin yo tu jing di na mable kamet kadawa kan kamet kadawa but kalong kapelong kelumar teh kajing bujuk perkat but ong totally ba udan ya kata mental illness ting nginum la I can ban ong
Tamba of course it triggers
the mind,
it triggers the mind, and the mind starts kumba ong iba aju menela perkat lupa nam talasai la how do I get my money for tomorrow.
Preoccupation kan dan baik preoccupation of drugs kan dan baik kan kajing bujuk perkat
menta ma'am kini ki kena ki bodon hang na the clients who are there that they with you I think and in your years of experience pilaju siam ba bakin relapse ne ba kin kulma ha ka center ne you know this kind of
kidan baik kum kita ti ho relapse le ti kin dan baik ham tam ki drug addict kan babun hi ki relapse ti kidan ki ba relapse ki wan biang for the treatment kan ti namar sakawai ru kalong kadai na ka hv ka ejong ki kidang khana kim pat ngau thu ka jum ju perkhat kam balong mechet ti kim pat ngau thu ba ti ka relapse kadan baik ti kijing kelumar hang ni antai ru kidan baik kita ru ngim lalat kan namar ba plus 2 hi mo shibun gitu kena dan to 30 numbers of them ti kandan baik kan kata
and all of them are mentally not stable.
Tama bandlong hadu banda kandalong big issue itu kan kamjudan kan kum kata manage ni ayo solve kita ki.
So that is why the reason why ngakali kana kata nomor ba ni as a society menta we have this notion ba chu bomb itu kana bomb no beat him up until we statement him out. I don't think so that's the way to go about it. Nomor ba ngatrai pinta tiet pinta show pi best na sinong unpet siya itu kana. He'll go back to his friends. Unlit biang na katuka club ka ba uwila banlan, he'll go back to that same circle of friends for support. But ibaju when you started to realize that you needed help, what were your basic symptoms? Pure hallucinations, pure cold turkeys?
Yeah, that's a hallucination ngayo.
What kind of hallucinations?
Because kalong kasulong ba teng ngasong hatupor nga iba uwan Jesus panu Jisu khamat jong wangana yame mentam dan chu bani i manu po prathai ta ngasong bangalang invisible manda
what
ke por ngalet ngayat ngasong ngapet ibri ku ni kemi i ra nga ngasong kumta kan kita ke hallucination mangayo tigidan ki kot school kini ki certificate e bangadan teng hapor bangasai katuka kadai kamiet ngakan mau kadai lamiet ki khandai steng spo waje ngasai ngapet kumni ngasong tu ba something is wrong with me ngasong tu ngamla ban ong the mind is playing tricks on me or something like that I don't know tangba ngam pat su tu ba kadai hallucination ru teng ngapet iki kot ngi kum bagi ki itu ki dak iki kum bagi ki kum ki caterpillar ki insects moving in so I was scared.
My gosh.
So I took a lighter and burned it off. burn out aki ki kot ki sta bar khat ti po
Kata kajing le kumar fi, I'm sure it was noticed. La gelas lagi itu lagi bahin.
oh ki next day when I get up te ngalai thia I got up atu por ngasdang ya kurma ngasdang ni ngalau ki ki jan ngayat I was half naked ngayat te kilungo kan tu don tu mama jo ngau ang balim wiat kum ni mele you what but I start fi is fi nga can you really see me I was asking him te balim keren be melaku melakwa you na ulas because I was hayang mencheck la suspect he tip hi banga judi drugs but then kim pat ngilang kim la ban issue because they try to change me tang bang ngampat jupai rehab center tika they through this uncle of mine udan away tu babar ngam yang kan te ngalas dang tengami isa surok ngasdang penkurmar ngasdang show BRIEW long ngam tip show te ngalong kurmar ka kli te kisawan ki pulet kisadang kem yang then hatu por ki refer ban yalam stage po memhans te ngapai shim memhans po shim dawai di dawai hadin katu kisau panya wan yalam yang po New Hope center tang kitai.
Before you reached New Hope, how many years of addiction did you go through?
Then kena duk class 7 ru kala pai kumala pai si post nam tam I was into it.
And you were not just doing one substance, you were
there are times like okay I prefer when like heroin cough syrup even pills but weed sometimes when I don't get the main stuff like say the main course they have to go for a substitute like alcohol or
so you were using multiple things,
yeah.
And that is termed as
poly users.
So a poly user is a user who's using multiple substances at the same time, just to get that high and to
but
get that
one thing is that thank God that I've never fixed injection.
Okay, so kata kajingnya perma, but see a drug user can be a user who is just using it orally,
yeah, orally.
Oral use and uba inject pada UDU IDU. So that's an injecting drug user. Kata kamu sisian ni bila inject kata kamu I think you're the level of
addiction kalau along very
much higher.
Yeah.
Bila kamu ma'am, do you segregate these you people, do you have a kind of a treatment for non-IDUs and IDUs?
No ngim dan kum kata ngi pensa lang be haju
Okay.
Nomor ba kasulong no kum da kan kidi ki ba ki IDUs kalong ka kham ka to withdrawals ka khamjur bha ka withdrawals kan
Okay.
ban compare ba kidi ki ba chase menta ki ong da ka to ba shu chase te ki kham slow long ka withdrawals kam da severe tang ba bun hi pa ngi pha le detox swa nama kan kham relief kan ka to ka euro ka withdrawals e kan kham du na.
We will get to that bit now. We will talk about treatment. So for our viewers who are watching, I think one thing that is very, very important that we need to understand as a community or as a family is to first and foremost get rid of stigma and discrimination. Like this is a mental state of mind. So you have to treat whoever, your brother or whoever, or your family member who is an addict. You have to look at him from an angle where you see him as a patient. Like any patient needs medication, needs a doctor, he also I think needs counseling, will need a doctor. So now the trend is like this. First is our community can bore iswa. Family members will try to hide it. The moment you try to hide it, it will become worse for the victim, for the client. Secondly, I think honesty is very, very crucial. He has to admit that he needs help. He has to be strong mentally. One rehab session and you were over and you got through. So that it is possible. If Bajo can do it, it is possible for a lot of you all out there.
That's true.
It's very, and he has been using for 14-15 years before he went for his first rehab. He slip up, the relapse. I believe if you're mentally strong,
yeah, that's true.
You need to be mentally strong. Bajo found his mental strength through Christ. Yeah, he started thinking differently. So umday ban ong ba utaw persana utaw khone utaw para, he's an addict, lakud, get him out of the house, we have nothing to do with him. The moment you do that, and once they have nowhere else to go, they'll go back to that same circle, and then that is why people OD, and that's why we have cases where kiba arhuai arpu asnam kila overdose. So I think it is important bangin pentip sekipat ba kadon ke treatment and care. So initially, ma'am, when somebody comes, let's say he's an IDU, and he's realized by his hit rock bottom what is the course of action?
Suppose ada kiwan mo ki patient kumtu for treatment, especially the IDU, kabangi si advise si kalong bang kinit siya for detoxification. Baginit le detox siya po hospital na marang tingim le po yu center jongi. Te baboni ki ngipa ki baginit le detox. Te after detox pede kin someone for the treatment.
For the treatment. So kani ka detox phase, ma'am, kani do all hospitals do detox? Mentate la jan baro hi, but ki bangi se refer kalong namar ba ngingi tied up but ka Robert Hospital te bun gi refer po yu Robert Hospital. They have civil hospital ru, they nang ta super care hospital, and then Bethany ru kile ti kita gi hospitals kan. So these are the main hospitals in town ni. So basically ngatai jan baro menta kila agi detox program. Jika ni ke detox program, ma'am, what exactly happens to the client there?
Ki hapo the kile detox te namar baki I in form of injection and baki pandai drip ikum tu te ka khamlong kloy ya ki khna kan ki ba use drugs ka kloy ka to withdrawals jong ki ba kan long kan kham sting ka relief kam da jor kan ka to ka suffer mo ka baki ong te ka to kan yarap namar bala ra ki one direct for the treatment kan namar ngi tingi ai betang ki dawai bet bakin di te ka kham slow ka process ka kham slow te ka withdrawal jong khna be kadang jor te teng ka tur ka pelong ye ki banong klumar kan slam te kin di dawai kan kham shimpor te da kilet for detoxification pada kala kham sting kamet jong ki kala kham sting te kin dawan kum tu for treatment pada tang 1 week kum tu kila la ban shong he ki programs kan ka bangi don na po you ba ki counseling and all te ka tu kala kham yarap kan da kilet for detox.
So this is a step by step process. Go for detoxification first. And I think depending on the addiction level of the client, ka detox
but karukom di kanu di amount of taking rukan.
Okay. So that will determine the detox program juki. Once that's done, then they come for counseling, come for your research. I mean for your other programs. Hakapor jung baju. Piliho gi pidon kita facilities baju.
Umdan ni tipor.
Pile kamu por visa for
por ngapai ha po rehab center kan po New Hope Center te hatu por like ngala e keladan ki por bangala e kum tu arlai singi tamam la hi tendang ngapai hang tu pat yang ki shu ai only for 3 nights sleeping pills manyo thia tanga tai nothing more than that. There were no detoxification, there's no OST like they get these days. You have to go it after that for 3 days.
Baju mo OST ngan chupen sai kan diat OST remote oral substitute therapy. Te menta in today's day and age kumba gala jalan kan ka addiction rate juru ka treatment ru ka the OST is a kind of a treatment which kan penduna yaki withdrawals kum wajing sutu junga. It will help the client escape gitu ki ya ka suffering kidon ki khana ki ba la ka jong ka kom suffer mo kum I baju la ka jong ka suffering could not sleep. I have met other clients also kidon ki ba ong ani panghadu ba pangisi kakpor busus ni
kakpor but sometimes like runny nose,
then the cold turkey. The OST treatment is there to help douse out ikini withdrawals. Then nang tu sa kamad is your counseling and is your mental strength that I believe is what is required. So mde ban do jengkerman ban ong ba ula di drugs kata posna mlakut mla ban ne issue ni kena tangba de ban katma but the treatment is there and also for those who have become addicts. When there is a will, there is always a way. Kadon bekalat, kadon bekalinti. Okay. Now a little bit about JINGEH pair kong kanika ka DIC ka bangi ong ka drop in center. I think this is something that I think the community and our people need to know. Ngidon ki drop in centers, ngidon ki de-addiction centers. Ma'am ki ay kita atli.
Drop in center mostly kadai ki kena ki laban wandi dawai hang tu nanta ki ai lang bat ki counseling ro. The de-addiction center pada we concentrate in the whole person recovery, that is bakin hapsa bat ba ngin kandon ka long kum ke in-house treatment kan kin hapsa kindon ki programs baki hap follow.
Okay. Usually what's the length of duration of these courses, ma'am?
Ka duration ka bang ibu te kadai 3 months ka course ka baki hap bansa kan.
Okay. kata dia po
Kadai
de-addiction
po
center.
de-addiction center on.
The drop-in center per day, in a drop-in center, can like say, you can kumentama, I'm not a user myself. Tamba, I have a friend or I have a relative who's using, I want to know more. Can I visit the drop-in center?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Katu drop-in center fila by banlen, long fila banlet kum to mo, tang mo fin kwa information kum to on. And if for counseling ro kilehi.
Okay. The ma'am Manta, as of right now, would you have an idea of how many maybe DICs we have?
DICs Manta hapo shillong te kabang tip nga di man ba ng Takrepa Foundation.
Okay.
Yes, and Viham.
So we have at least three that
yes.
you know of. So okay, kini de-addiction center then again is like a place where the treatment happens, and so it's a 3-month course and we have panyat.
Yes.
Kumadi panyat. Manta ma'am, something that is a little also balong sensitive kandian kalong ba kadon aka jingsem jong pri jingsem jong bajo. What is the difference between a male addict and a female addict? Can you treat them similarly, or what are the complexities that involve when treating a female addict?
Female ki jong ki female te kai ka ba shem jing e kalong kawai kalong ba stigma and discrimination still there in the society te teng gum tu ki one for treatment ru ki wat te ka jaka ka balong kham sakandong ka jaka ka balong ba tip manu te don ru ki to mo female addicts ru ki ba ki kwa ba kinri long game kwa pen pau hanu haki bahiyeng ru wat haki bahiyeng kem kwa kin tip te and then ka wei ru ka long ba kham tam ki ni bla don khon don kti ki bla don khon ru wei ka problem namabli ki ha perkhat na ta ki khon kin e ban no te ha kamil te addiction te kam da don e te kita te ha female pre teng ki lawan sa mo ha po center jong mangi don ka female te addiction center ru
Kani ka center kadon he man.
Kadon ha chatay po mau diang dia.
Kani play last la.
Kangi la 2019.
Okay.
Te kum hang te ru ka kum to da kilawan kimla te ban shong ka to ka full man ko ma bale bateng teng ki ha perkhat noi ki khon o ki don exam ki khon astang exam te ki sa tang shi banai ki sa tang banai te long ka much difference kan treatment for female and male
and for me. Okay, well, hopefully the government, I think, is realizing that this is an issue. So hopefully we have more de-addiction centers for women as well. But then I think we're almost out of time as well, and I think we've covered almost everything. First of all, once again, I kubleshibon na ma'am. Thank you so much for the testimony of P. Just before we leave, Baju, can you, like, if there's a message that you want to give out to the young kids out there, if there's something you want to tell them, please.
See, for them, like, if you want to come out of your addiction or whatever it is, like whether it's drugs or alcohol, whatever, you need to believe in yourself first of all. You need to believe, and you need to have that mentality where you say, like, you should think that willpower, even your mental power also should be strong. If you want to quit, you should know that I can do it. If others can do it, even I can do it. So you should come forward, even when you have a problem. Even I'm talking to those people who are not aware of a rehab center. There is a rehab center for treatment. You can come over there or ask for help. We are always there to help you. And kaway mga kwa banong ba pimdi ban salya, but pimdi ban lerain ba pinwan shakmat ba pin admit hoy nga di addict and I need to change myself, and pidi ban don kata ka willpower jong la diru ba ladapi kwa ban la pihak ban yakon man lakasngi, not just say I want to quit and you're not doing it. Pihak ban lada, if you want to quit, you have to do it. Say that's all mga kwa banong ba, you can do it. There's no such thing ba I'll fail or I'm going to lose. You'll always be a winner if you believe in yourself.
True. With those words from Bajo, I'd like to thank the both of you once again. And I'll just end off with a short note saying that, when there's a will, there's a way. Like I said earlier, you may fail once, you may fail the second time, you may fail 3 times, 4 times, but keep fighting. The treatment is there. And we have people like Bajo, we have people like ma'am here who are there to help you. So do not lose hope. Well, this was another session of Health Essentials. DD Meghalaya. I'm Andreas. Until next time, God bless.